Hi everyone, my name is Regina Olakunle. It's great to be alive. I'm grateful for life. I hope you're grateful for life too. And you're on to Regina Olakunle TV. I want to use this opportunity to send my condolence to the Adeleke family, the video. Chioma, we're really sorry for your loss. It's something that, I cannot comprehend. It's not a time to put any blame on the parents or anything. These things happen, and some things can be avoided, some cannot. But you know what? We just have to be prayerful. I am really, 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 really sorry for your loss. May we not lose any of our kids. May God keep us and protect us as the year is running to an end. I first want to say thank you to God, for life. We are already in November. And it's in November to remember. A lot of shit has been happening on, in the world. And we pray that may we never go through anything that would make us regret our existence. Sometimes people go through stuff. And having said that, a lot of things I have noticed, not even on social media alone, a lot of things is actually happening, and one of it is domestic violence stuff. I see a lot of posts on the internet. I see it happen. I know people that it's happened to, and I begin to wonder, why are these things happening? Is it that people are not doing the right thing, or they don't know how to address issues before a partner starts to beat the other one? What I'm talking about is domestic violence, and I want to say that it becomes domestic violence when something is going wrong in the relationship and the other party decides to raise his or her hand on his partner or her partner. And it doesn't just have to be physical. Sometimes it could be emotional. When you are emotionally assaulting your partner, it could be your wife, it could be your partner. When you are assaulting them, that's domestic abuse, it's domestic assault. It's everywhere. It could be psychological too. It could be emotional. It could be physical. We're seeing a lot of physical ones these days. And a couple of weeks ago, something happened in Nigeria with the IVD and bimbo stuff. It's a lot going on in the country already. That news like that will bother a lot of people. We are not here to, apportion blame or anything. Therefore, I have decided, on my own channel, Regina Olakunle TV, to talk about domestic violence. So if you're going through any form of violence, be it physical, be it psychological, or emotional, then you need to speak up. If you are in the DMV area, that is the District of Columbia, Maryland, or Virginia, then you can get in touch with me on my social media handles. My email is reginaait@yahoo.com. reginaait@yahoo.com. You can get in touch with me there, or you go to my Instagram page, which is just Regina Olakunle, and be sure to send me a message with your number, and I will get in touch with you. We want to have a video recording. We want you to tell us what you're going through. If you have succeeded in overcoming these things, how did you overcome it? What steps did you take? Was the government involved? How did you go about it? We want you to talk to the world so that they can learn from you, so that these things will not continue to, happen in our society. When love is lost is what I'm going to call the program, because you can only raise your hand at your spouse or your partner or your wife or your husband when there is no more love. When love is lost. When the love is no longer there, when love is gone out of the relationship, that's when you want to hurt your partner. And you can hurt your partner in different ways. You can hurt your partner emotionally by saying certain things to the partner, by depriving your husband, depriving your wife of your marital duties. your conjugal duties. That's one of it. It could be something else too. You're emotionally tormenting your partner. That's what another way where domestic violence comes in. You can also be violent towards your partner by, assaulting them psychologically. The things you say to them, the way you say these things, the way you communicate with them, you make them feel a certain way that they feel less a human. You are violating some codes. You shouldn't do that. And I want to tell you, let me shock you. Some people actually beat their wives. And some actually beat their husbands in the United States. You will be surprised. Where there is law, people will say enforcement is, everywhere in the US. But we'll see things happen. And that's why I'll be bringing to your viewing pleasure people that have gone through it. I have a friend who has gone through stuff like that. She's an overcomer. I want to tell you that she has a PhD, so she's not an illiterate. Like people will say, oh, it can only happen to illiterates. Don't say that. Some people go through stuff they can't tell you because they feel that, when they tell it out, people are going to look at them as if they are nothing. They're going to look at them as if they're less a human, and they're going to judge them. You shouldn't look at what people will say about you. It is not about what they're going to say, but you want to get out of that problem. And I want to say, in a situation where this is rampant, you want to separate yourself from that relationship, whether it's a relationship or a marriage, whatever it is. I'll call it a relationship because this involves two people. And some will say, I am staying because of my children. I have invested so much in this relationship. That's why I can't let go. You can only live with your children if you're alive. You can only communicate with them. You can only see them if you're still living. Once you're dead, all hope is lost. When you're alive, there's hope for change. But when you are dead, I want to tell you that everything, all hope is lost, and you are on your own. Those children won't see you no more. You won't be able to fight your husband's girlfriends anymore. You won't be able to cry. You won't be able to speak your mind. Once you're dead, you're gone. I want to tell you that suicide is not the solution. Suicide is not the solution. I read it. I saw it on the net where an Indian lady committed suicide apparently because the husband was cheating on her and was beating her repeatedly. And this happened in New York. Can you believe that? And you would think that this is America, where there is law, there should be justice, there's fair hearing, there is enforcement of law and all that. But I want to tell you that it depends. It can only happen if you speak up. If you don't say what is going on with you, law enforcement agencies will not come to your house when they are not aware of what the situation is. They can only come when you keep them abreast of the situation. When you invite them, when you give a call, you call a 911 call. That's the only reason they would come. Or maybe when a neighbor decides to intervene by calling law enforcement agencies. I saw it, and she committed suicide, leaving 2 children behind. And I'm beginning to wonder, sometimes you ask, what are the parents doing about this stuff? Your parents cannot do as much as you can do. Once you decide to take a step, you stand by whatever decision you've taken, and then your parents can come in. Even if your parents come in and they try to prevent some things, if you're adamant and you go ahead in this relationship, there's nothing they can do. We don't want death of females anymore. We don't want death of males anymore, because this domestic violence thing is not about women alone. A lot of people will tell you that it happens to women alone. That's not true. I have a friend who is a male. He doesn't want me to mention his name. He's anonymous. I'll just describe him as anonymous for now. He's going through that. And the marriage has crumbled there in court. But he went through that for 17 years. And he lives in the US. He went through it for 17 years. And you would wonder, oh, how did he cope? A lot of men don't want to say that, because people will look at them as less a man, like, oh, how can your wife be doing this to you? How can your woman do this to you? Then it means that you're not a man, you're not man enough. It's nothing like that. I want to tell you that some people do it because, one, they don't want to move away from their children. Like I said, some do it for what the society would say. Some do it because of financial gains, the financial gain they get from that relationship. But I want to tell you, if you're being beaten every time, one day you're going to die. You're going to die. And when you die, there'll be justice, because God sees everything. People preach about it. I went to church one day, and the pastor was talking. I was like, oh, when a woman divorces, the woman shouldn't get married. You would only remain single. I thought about it, and I was like, in my own mind, it's like preachings like this would make a woman stay in an abusive relationship because she doesn't want, to be alone. Is it not better to be alone than to be 6 feet under? Think about those things. And if you're going through this stuff, I just want to tell you that I am here to help you. We're going to sit together. We're going to talk about these issues. We're going to discuss about it. We're going to find ways that you can get help. I know of a woman I actually helped out. She was going through that. She didn't have papers, and she got married to the man. And the man had papers, and within 3 months, there was something happened between them, and he actually beat the hell out of her. And you know what happened? Apparently, it happened on the road, and passerby, they recorded it and posted it. They had to call the police. The police came in, and the guy was arrested. And lo and behold, it was supposed to, face the wrath of the law, but the families came in, started begging the lady and everything. But we were able, she got this divorce from him, but she was able to get her papers because apparently there's a law in America where you can fight for this thing even if he hasn't filed for you based on abuse. I'm not a lawyer, but there are lawyers that deal with these things. So we're going to be talking to them so we can get help for you. So you will not be alone in this situation. So you will not die in this situation. I would love to bring people on this program on Regina Olakunle TV. We're going to spread the word. Domestic violence is a no-no. It has to stop. It has to stop. And it has to stop by women, by men speaking up, talking about it, informing law enforcement officers, doing videos of these things to prove in court, making sure that people who do such things like go through the wrath of the law and they are being made to pay. When things like this happen, like they face the wrath of the law, domestic violence will reduce drastically. It will reduce because you know that the law is against it. I am happy that even in Lagos, Nigeria, laws have been put in place. Laws have been put in place to put a stop to things like that. If Nigeria is doing that and you are in the United States, and you're going through abuse and you decide to be quiet about it, you want to keep quiet and then die in that situation, you should know that you killed yourself. Because you should speak up. You should, first of all, eliminate yourself from that situation. Separate yourself from that situation. There's no need fighting a man if you're a woman. You can walk away. If you're a man, there's no need fighting back. You can walk away. If a door closes, there's several doors that will open, my darling. There's several doors that will open. So never think, oh, if I leave this relationship, how am I going to, cope? How am I going to forge ahead? What about my kids? Am I going to be able to remarry? My dear, let me tell you something. God is a just God. He is faithful. He is merciful. He is a kind God. That, you know what? Those things, people follow the dictates of the Bible. And then they say, look at the singer in Nigeria who passed away because of domestic violence. Oh, they said the autopsy said this and that. But you know what? Something leads to something. And something will always lead to something. But the truth of the matter is, if you're really going through this abuse and you decide to stay in it because of what the church will say, because you're a Christian and because you don't want to be alone. Is she not alone now? Is she not in the grave? Think about it. It's time to think. Think about a whole lot of things. Think about it. Is she not alone now? And a lot of people say, I fought for that relationship. I did everything. I sacrificed my earnings. I put in everything I had. So I cannot leave it. Let me tell you, you will leave it when you're dead. You will leave it when you're dead. So instead of leaving it at that time, why not? Just leave it now when there is still time. There's hope for you. Don't think, some people will say, oh, I can't be alone. I always need a man. I know myself. I can stay by myself. Good for you. Thank you. Because it's good that you cannot be alone. But the truth is, you will be alone when you're dead. And only you will be in that 6 feet. So don't allow it to come to that. It's happening every day. Every day things are happening. And we're beginning to wonder, where is love? The love is lost. When love is lost, that's when violence comes in. It doesn't have to lead to violence. Please, we have to sit and talk to ourselves. We have to sensitize ourselves about what is going on. So please get in touch with me on reginaait@yahoo.com. You can equally get in touch with me on reginamay6@gmail.com. You can get in touch with me on Instagram on Regina Olakunle, and my Instagram handle is Regina Olakunle. And definitely do not forget to send your number. You can inbox me, because I'm going to be posting this on Facebook. I'm going to post on YouTube. So you can also inbox me. Don't forget to add your number. Don't forget to include your email when you inbox Regina Olakunle, and we're going to do whatever it takes to make you get out of that problem. God is going to help us, and we're going to take whatever we're going to put resources together. We want the world to know what you're going through. We want you to speak up. We want to address that issue. We want you to be free. We want you to be happy. A relationship that is devoid of happiness, of, joy, then that is not a relationship. Every day you're being beaten, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally or psychologically, you are going to get down one day, and it'll be difficult to get up again. please get in touch with me. Let's talk about it. It's important that we talk about it. Until I come your way next time, don't forget, my name is Regina Lakanle, and we're talking about domestic violence. The topic is when love is lost. We want to have a program that will feature different people that have been abused, the victims, the families of the victims, how they were able to overcome it. We want to talk. We want them to talk to the world so that they know what this entails, the signs when it comes on, the signs that tells you that you are being domestically, violated, the domestic abuse in your relationship. Please, come on, let's talk about it. Till I come your way next time. My name still remains Regina Olakunle, and you're watching me on Regina Olakunle TV. On YouTube, we're there, so you can follow and you can equally subscribe to my channel. We have educative stuff, we have entertaining stuff, we have, you will never regret watching. It won't be a waste of time, I promise you. Until I come your way next time, I just want to tell you, be safe. Be safe, be happy. Make sure you're happy. The world is at a stage where a lot of things are happening, but you got to stay on top of your game. Don't let anybody put you down. You're doing your best. Continue to forge ahead. You will get to your destination. I want to tell you, don't see me like, she's trying to be a counselor or something. We just want to talk. We want to address issues. We want a solution. We want the world to be a better place. And it doesn't cost anybody anything to do that. You can always make your world a better place, your environment, people know you that, when they come to you, they can always seek solace. And that's what the world should be. It should be our brothers' keepers. Religion should be out of it. It doesn't mean nothing. Knowing God is spreading love. I'm beginning to talk again. I enjoy talking, right? Thank you anyway. Thank you for listening. And please get in touch with me, reginaait@yahoo.com, reginamay6@gmail.com. Regina Olakunle is my Instagram handle. And send me an inbox. Inbox me. Send me a message. I'll get in touch with you. Don't forget, I'm going to come there live to record you. If you are in the DMV area, that's the District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, I'll be there myself to talk to you about it too. We're going to rub minds, and it's going to be a live program. We'll talk about it, and there will be a solution by His grace, by God's grace. I love you. Have a blessed day.